nerds, welcome back to the NextGen Nerd Podcast. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, the infamous Krypton known as the Man of Steel, Superman. That's what we're talking about today is Superman. Excited to have two of my buddies on this show as we look at DCU's newest movie, Superman. There will be spoilers, but I sit down and talk with Hector Mirai from Faith and Fandom and Todd Turner from Mosaic Fan Art, and they all also have like tons of other stuff going on, but glad to sit down and talk with them about this movie. We all really enjoyed it, and hopefully you will enjoy some of the discussion as well. Before we get in the interview, though, let's go over some nerdy recommendations. Again, these are themed recommendations looking not just at Superman, although the to-play games are all Superman related, but they are kind of superhero themed. And so if you enjoy Superman, you may enjoy these. So let's start with to read. There are 3 books that I'm recommending here. Number 1, John Scalzi's Starter Villain. This doesn't necessarily follow Superman, more what if we had a Lex Luthor we could cheer on. I think it's funny. I think it's a great story that kind of pulls you on. I love John Scalzi's stuff. There's only one trilogy that I've not been able to get into, but otherwise I really enjoy his take on sci-fi, and this is a really good one. Yeah, so I'm not really going to go a whole lot into it. If you want to read that book, John Scalzi's Starter Villain, check it out. I listened to it on Audible, and it was excellent. Second, it's a whole series that starts with X, and the first book is X Heroes. It's by Peter Clines. It's basically what if superheroes and zombies met, which, if you know me, you know I was a sucker for that whole story. But that's what happens, is there's this virus that is like in all the rest of the zombie movies, except there are actual superheroes. And there's some interesting way how they kind of interact with what a superhero is doing to try and save humanity. And then as the series goes on, there's some actually really unique abilities that are showcased in those books. I think the series is like 4 books, and they all start with EX. So X Heroes by Peter Clines. And the last one is by George R. Martin, and it is called Wild Cards. And it's a anthology style book where each chapter is telling like somebody else's story. I'm trying to remember, I think there was a thread that kind of went through. It's obviously following a certain timeline, but Wild Cards refers to powers that were not like within the norm of powers and kind of what they do with those. It's definitely more of an adult book, so keep that in mind as you're listening to. Again, it's George R. R. Martin, so that's kind of to be understood. And there was some follow-ups. I only listened to the first book, but I remember it being enjoyable seeing that kind of take on it and thinking about what if you were going to have this really weird power. So anyways, it's Wild Cards by George R. R. Martin. All right, to watch, I've got 2 TV series and a movie here. The first one, Heroes, will also probably be recommended when we talk about time travel, because that's a big piece of Heroes. I definitely recommend the first couple seasons. The latter couple seasons, it does kind of come off the rails, but it was a interesting take on superhero abilities. It has my favorite, Supersonic Flight, but it's just a great cast of characters and a comic feel. Save the cheerleader, save the world, all those things. If you've not watched Heroes, I definitely encourage you to check out Heroes. I'm probably going to watch it with my kids soon on VidAngel, of course. But it was a great series that I remember really enjoying. Again, the first couple seasons. We'll have to see what happens with the last couple. I remember it getting a little weird, especially around the carnival. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. Second series is Invincible, and I just finished this, again, watching it on VidAngel. And it is a story that follows a superhero that has a lot of the similar abilities of Superman. And if you've not seen it on Amazon, it's 3 seasons, 4th season's coming out soon. I'm really excited about that 4th season. But it's got, again, several really interesting superheroes and how they deal with issues. So give it a shot, check it out. Again, I watched it on VidAngel. You're welcome to do the same. And finally, the movie is Push, one that not a lot of people really enjoy, but I really did. It's a superhero kind of crime mixed in heist feel. I like a good heist movie. I especially like the character development and kind of they have superheroes in categories. Like there's a handful of types of powers, and so you might become one of those. And Push was one of those. It was those that had telekinetic abilities. They could push things. So I think, actually no, now that I'm remembering the movie, it's a different ability, but you know, it's okay. But yes, that one stars Chris Evans, who's been in every superhero franchise. So he was in this one as well, and played the lead character there. I remember watching it actually so many times that I knew what the subtitles said, like I knew what they were saying. And I remember watching it with a buddy. We were watching a bootleg version, and the subtitles weren't there, and there were several people speaking, I think it was Mandarin, and I was like saying what they were saying, and he had no idea that I had just seen it so many times. I knew what they were saying. He thought I spoke Mandarin. He's like, I didn't know you knew Chinese. That's amazing. He's like, no, I'm sorry. I've seen this movie too many times. I know what they're talking about. So anyways, that is Push. So check that one out. Last category, things to play. Now, these 3 games all do involve Superman, and I would love to be Superman. I would love to have the abilities to fly like Superman. And the strength of Superman, all those things. So, first one up, Lego Batman 3 or DC Villains. Both of these are Lego games where you can be any number of DC characters. DC Villains, it's more of the villains characters. You actually get to build your own character, design them, give them abilities, all those things. It's actually a pretty fun aspect of that game. Lego Batman 3, while it is Batman, Superman plays a big part in there. Justice League coming together to fight off Brainiac in that one. So those are really fun games. I like Lego games because it is enough of a challenge that I enjoy playing, but not too much of a challenge that when my kids were younger, they would get frustrated. In fact, more often than not, I would get frustrated with my kids because I'd be like, let's go along and keep doing this mission, and they would want to just keep killing me. But it's a fun game, Lego Batman 3. Or Lego DC Villains, both of which are on Xbox and PlayStation and all those things. Number 2, probably my favorite on this list, would be Injustice 2. Injustice 2 is a fighting game where you get to fight with as part of a huge roster of DC characters. Superman is not my favorite character to play. Green Arrow, actually, is my favorite character to play on there. But there's a lot of option there to try and be one of the DC heroes or villains. In several lists that I was looking at, it was like top of those lists. Top of those lists as an excellent game with Superman in it. So that's Injustice 2. There's also Injustice. Superman's in that one. And there was another one, Mortal Kombat versus DC, but I can't remember if Superman was in that one or not. I don't remember if he was. But all of those kind of superhero fighting games. The last one is a oldie. This one is an oldie. This one is Superman Returns. This one came out when the Superman Returns movie came out. I have the game on PlayStation 2. I'm thinking about breaking out, seeing how terrible it is now. But it was an open world game, which are some of my favorite kind of games, where you were Superman, and it was done well. It was done well where you felt like you were protecting the city. One of the neat things they had as part of that game was Superman didn't have a life bar because Superman's invincible, but Metropolis did. And so you had to save it before Metropolis was destroyed. I remember it being really cool that when you were flying, like it would, you would break the sound barrier, like as you were going, and I remember being able to fly over the water, and I want to fly, it'd be great. But Superman Returns on PlayStation 2, you can check it out. One that I've not played, that when I was looking at several lists of best Superman games, best Superman books, things like that, that I want to play, is another older one, Superman Shadow of Apocalypse, which has the voice of Superman from the Justice League cartoon, and it looks really good. It looks like it'd be a fun challenge. So I'm going to have to see if I can find anywhere to play that. I think that one also came out GameCube era, PlayStation 2 era. So that's Superman Shadow of Apocalypse. But there's some recommendations for you. And if you listen and you're like, none of that sounds like it's what I want, I really just want to experience Superman, then you're going to enjoy this episode. In addition to all the things that we talk about, we go over 30 comic recommendations if you're wanting more Superman or other characters that are in the movie. So get your pen and pad ready. All those things will also be in the show notes. But it's a really good interview. Enjoyed hanging out with these guys. Hope you guys enjoyed as well. Let's get nerdy. All right, so we all went and saw the new Superman movie, and I saw these guys had mentioned that they enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd bring them on. So, guys, it's good to see y'all. Hector, how you doing, man?
Good, dude. I haven't seen you guys collectively since Heroes Con, and by the way, Heroes Con wasn't as good without you. So, just to throw it out there.
Miss you too, buddy.
2027. Let's do it. A reunion, 2027.
Listen, I like it.
Jeez, that's a long time. I don't know if I'm going to be doing cons by 2027, man.
Oh, you can do Heroes Con one more time for 2027 for the reunion, class reunion.
I just thought, so I was telling Todd, I'm doing school guidance up at the middle school. And so summer hours are bonus checks. And I was driving home. And I'm thinking, man, if I took a couple of these bonus checks and pulled them together, I might be able to get like a legit Mosaic fan art. I mean, I love my square. I love my 12 by 12 square, but I mean, I
don't even think I've got a 12 by 12. I think I've got a 6 by something.
6 by 6.
Little mini
6 by
square.
6.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, I think yours is 8 by 8.
is it? I didn't measure it.
Hey, CJ, yours is 8 by 8. Hector's is 6 by 6.
Okay, mine's still
Okay,
bigger.
Science.
Still bigger.
Yes.
That's still, let's see, 24 extra square inches. Is that right? So Todd, how are you doing, man? Anything exciting going on in your world right now? Anything you're waiting on?
Doing great. Yeah, we're waiting for a stork to show up for my middle daughter
Very nice.
any day. So
Very nice.
the bad part is the baby is due on the release date of Fantastic Four First Steps, which is killing me. But anyway,
Listen,
outside of that being the bad first day, that's the actual first full day of GalaxyCon
this is true
next
too.
week.
oh, really? Wow.
So I'm kind of sad. But also, the same night, Weird Al Yankovic is playing across the street from GalaxyCon, and you can watch it for free. Just throwing that out.
Oh, I would do that for sure.
Nice. When I was
It'd be like the time, Hector, when you were at my house for the Lexington Comic Convention, and my daughter wanted to go see a 3-hour Dune movie after the con.
Yeah, I'm not built like that. Listen, the show floor runs literally from 9:15 a.m. to 8 p.m. No, I sleep.
That's some long days.
Gotcha.
Long days. Well, guys, we went and saw Superman, James Gunn's newest DC movie, and I thought it was a hit. What'd y'all think?
I'm glad they dropped Legacy off the title. That was one of the first.
That's funny
thoughts I
because
had.
my sister-in-law put it on Facebook. I went and saw Superman Legacy, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" I didn't even know. Yeah,
that was the original title for it.
yeah, it doesn't need it.
Especially, I mean, the Legacy makes me think that it's a throwback to something previous, and I think there's enough little shifts and changes in the general tone that it would be confusing.
Yeah,
it
I thought
definitely
the
will.
movie started out great. The little 30, 40-second little line, where it said, 300 years ago, we got superheroes. 30 years ago, this guy was born. Wait a minute. Are we spoiling this movie?
So that's a great point. That was the first 6 seconds of the movie. So, but it is spoilers. Like, it is spoilers. By the time this comes out, the movie will been out for probably 2 weeks. And so, yeah, spoilers from here on out. We're not trying to hold anything back. If you've not seen the movie, don't listen anymore. But yes, so spoilers abound.
I thought it was the perfect way to start the movie. Perfect.
Yes.
This is the way it is. This is where we are. Go. So even from the very beginning, I appreciated that.
I've been doing graphic design job for about 1.5 years, 2 years at this point. And as soon as the text popped up, I'm like, I know that font. That was literally the first thing.
Oh, man. That's funny.
Because it's also a font that I've used for Faith and Fandom stuff. So I'm just like, okay. This is almost like using Comic Sans, but cool. That's fine. Go on.
Nice.
No, I thought it was good. I thought too, not going through the who his parents are and he's from Krypton again, kind of like how they did with the most recent Spider-Man movies, and not watching Uncle Ben die again. I thought was helpful. Get us right in the middle. Get us right into the action. Was good. One of the things. So when they said 300 years ago superheroes arrived, that got me wondering if we're going to have some changes as far as, because I don't remember, like, who are they talking about? Who are they talking about when they say 300 years ago?
I think
Hawk Girl and Hawkman.
This whole thing does and he does his gods and monsters thing. So, that was they've announced that forever. I don't know if it makes me think that we're gonna get maybe Wonder Woman and all that be that far back, but like Hector says, Hawk Girl and Hawkman, and we didn't even mention Hawkman. So,
And
but
with that too, like if you're doing the older heroes like that, you've got people like Vandal Savage who's been around. You've got people like that. Even if you don't do Wonder Woman, I've heard talks of people saying they should do Nubia and do an older Amazon or something like that too. But just on base what they've slated, they've not really announced much that's older. But I don't know.
I wasn't sure if it was.
I mean, really,
pointing to the like the Greek gods, you know, the like if that was that what they were talking about. But even still, 300 years doesn't make sense for that. But that was my first thought there.
Yeah.
Frankenstein. I mean, that's been a couple hundred years, right? I don't know, because they've already introduced Frankenstein into Creature Commandos, and I don't know if you guys realize this. When you go back or when you get the DVD or whatever, and you pause this movie when they're in the Hall of Justice, there's a huge mural up on the wall, and it's got like
JSA.
everybody in it: Wildcat, Dr. Fate, the Atomic Knight. I mean, like some really obscure characters in it. So,
By this, the JSA has already existed.
correct. Yes. Yeah. And it's nice to see they brought Cincinnati back into the picture using the old Cincinnati Union Terminal building, a.k.a. Cincinnati Museum of Natural History, a.k.a. the building where Robin's parents were killed, also the Hall of Justice. So,
Yeah. Anything that you guys just glancing over that you thought was a miss, that you wish they had done that differently, or you thought it was a misstep, or
I feel like the lighting in the pocket dimension was a miss. I feel like we needed just a little more visibility because I saw it on 2 different theater screens, and both of them had various arrays of darkness, but it was just hard to see. And that might be it. That like I have a.
my issue was they spent bazillions of dollars of CGI on Crypto, which is amazing, and like $2.50 on Metamorpho's child. So I think I would have liked to have seen, like, goodness gracious, they've got baby dolls that look more realistic. That is my only. That honestly, I would have been like, baby could have been a little better, but.
yes, but they're trying to lay groundwork though with Crypto, and I don't know how often we will see. What was the baby's name? I'm trying to remember what it was. Fred.
Joey.
Joey. Was it Joey?
Joey.
I don't even remember the name.
Yeah,
but
I saw it 3 days back to backs. Yeah, it was Joey.
Oh, there you go. So you got it, Joey. Hilarious. Yeah, I loved all the characters that were introduced. I thought were great, and I mean Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner.
excellent, perfect choice.
Just fantastic. I mean, it's funny because a lot of people are coming out going, that haircut is terrible. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's supposed to be.
That's the joke. Yep. Yeah.
That's the joke.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And
I loved Metamorpho.
Yes.
The Justice Gang. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah.
Justice Gang.
So I have a question, and this is really 80% of why I wanted you to talk about this. So when they said Ultraman, immediately I'm thinking about Ultraman from the New 52 Justice League, the alternate universe where they come over and Ultraman was the evil Superman. Is that name used elsewhere, or did they change it to be kind of more of a bizarro, this guy's a dumb knockoff clone of Superman?
Well, I mean,
No, Ultraman. Go ahead, Hector. You first.
Oh, no, go ahead, man.
Well, Ultraman is the Earth 3 evil Superman. But this, I mean, if you ever go back and watch all the old Supermans, in Superman 4...
My favorite as a kid. Don't hold it against me, but it was my favorite when I was little.
Are you serious?
I had it on VHS.
They clone... They use a strand of his hair to clone and make the... So it
Nuclear
felt
Man.
like a nod.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it felt like a nod to that a little bit. That really was. I mean, when I realized it was Ultraman, I was like, well, yeah, that's him.
Yes.
It's either an evil Superman somehow.
Right.
Now there is an Ultraman there's no way that wasn't going to be an evil Superman. There is another Ultraman that's like isn't like a.
He's like a Power Ranger level Japanese superhero. Netflix has its own anime of it.
Yes.
That's more newer, but no, like is Ultraman just period is going to be an evil version of Clark. one way or the other.
Yeah.
I had the one thing that I was hoping, and it's like I don't know that I needed it, but like one of the things I heard that maybe there's a chance that it was going to be Cavill as Ultraman.
Oh, that would have been good. That would have been good.
And then when he pulled and like for a second, the way his hair was hanging and everything, I was like, oh no, never mind, that's just you. But like that was, I feel like that was a really solid play of doing it that way. Or and the fact that he went into the black hole or whatever, that might escalate the chances of us getting a Bizarro out of the mix.
Right.
So.
I just wasn't sure if, like, I know that Power Girl was clone to Supergirl that Lex made, and so I'm going, is there some strand of comics where he uses the name Ultraman and they reused it in the New 52? Because that was the only time I remembered seeing Ultraman. So
there's like a DC animated movie of like versus the Crime Syndicate and stuff. But anytime you see
that's
the
what they
Crime
were called.
Syndicate,
right, and that was with Grid and I can't remember all the.
Well, they had Power Woman.
Yes, Power Woman.
Yeah.
It was
Owlman.
Yes, all those good things.
Which James Wood was Owl's man.
Johnny Quick.
Yep, Johnny Quick, and then their version of the Atom, wasn't that the one that like snuck through in the comics?
I don't know.
I've got it over here. I'm pointing to it. I can see it. I need to pull it out and look at it. So I went with a buddy of mine who's loves superheroes, not really read any comics, and so we left, and he's like, I need comics. Like, give me a list of things to read. And so first I said, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, like start there, read that. And he's like, I have no idea what's going on. I said, just struggle through it, man. But I'm also taking
nobody reading that book had any idea what was going on.
This is true.
Right.
And then I'm taking him several others that I had just to kind of wet his beak a little bit. The first, Justice League, New 52. 3 Jokers, and The Last Ronin. So one non-DC superhero one, just to be able to go, see, isn't this wonderful? Isn't this great?
If he liked this movie, I would start him with All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely.
Yeah.
Which is what this was kind of loosely based on.
Yeah, that. And honestly, the first Justice League International, which is the Justice League with Guy Gardner, and it's with Max Lord, who's played by Sean Gunn in the movie, I believe.
Yep.
Wasn't that who he was supposed to be?
Yeah.
And then Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which is I talked to my local comic book shop owner today. They went and saw it, and I was asking them what they thought about it, and I was like, well, I mean, the whole deal with crypto and the engineer stuff on the dog's face, and they were like, oh, that is terrible. And I was like, well, wait till Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And they're like, they had never read it. And I was like, what? I go, dude, they shoot that dog with an arrow. And they're like, oh, no, they'll have to change that because people will go psycho.
Well, I mean,
listen,
John Wick.
A 4-year-old girl cried for the first half hour after Crypto got that stuff on her face.
Oh, yeah? Did they really?
Yeah, there's a
a
little girl was right behind me, and she cried for like a solid half hour of the movie.
You tell parents it's PG-13.
So the theater I went to is in Lake City, and every time I go to this theater, I go at what I think is going to be a crowded time, and it's me and 4 other people. No one goes to the theaters. I went Friday night at 8:45, and it was me, my buddy, and 4 people, 2 of which sat right behind me and talked like the whole time.
Ugh.
I'm like, just go like 3 rows that way if you want to keep asking questions and figure things out. I think it may have been a son on the spectrum and his dad. So that was the only reason why I didn't turn around and be like,
okay.
But even still, I'm thinking like, hey, Dad, like tell him like, hey, let's talk later. Let's talk after the movie. But it was plenty of room. So there was no crying though. No crying in mine.
There was a good turnout. I went Friday night and at our little theater. They were playing it at 6:50 and at 7:10. And the 6:50 one that we were at, there were probably 40, 50 people in there. A pretty good crowd for Little Mount Sterling, Kentucky.
Very nice.
Well, I went at weird because they played. We have a 4-screen theater. They played Superman on 2 of the screens, so there was like a 5 and a 6 and a 7 and an 8 and a 9:15.
Okay.
So I watched a 1 p.m., a 9 p.m., and maybe a
Just showing off now.
Listen, I know.
I had to go that many times to be able to take my family at all in different intervals because we're all on
There
schedules.
you go.
So this movie felt different from a lot of DC films. And so why was that? Why did it feel different to me while I'm watching this? And what were your thoughts comparing it to other DC films? So, I mean, it even felt different than the Suicide Squad that James Gunn did. It felt different there. So what are y'all's thoughts? Why did it feel different? What does that mean? What does it look like going forward?
I feel like one of the reasons it felt different is because it's the first really hopeful Superman we've had, or encouraging Superman. I feel like Cavill was like let me say that in my lifetime, because I think I lived through Superman 4. Past that, I don't know if I was around for any of them. I know Superman 2 was always on TV when I was a kid.
Great movie.
It was a wonderful movie. But this is the first one that was like where he was charming and encouraging, and that hope was actually in a theme of it. But also, I think it was the first one outside of Green Lantern that didn't take itself very seriously. Like, in terms of, let's have fun with this. Because, I mean, even just from the, like, 80% of Mr. Terrific's dialogue delivery to, like, the T-Sphere battle. Like, James Gunn was having fun, and he wanted you to have fun. And there were times where there were just jokes for the sake of jokes. And, like, even with, like, Whedon's inserted jokes for Justice League, like, none of it felt, like, authentically like this should be.
Yeah, it wasn't organic. It was forced.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with Hector. I think that even though, you know, Hector said the movie didn't take itself serious, there were serious things in it. Like, you know, maybe kindness or goodness or niceness, whatever, is punk rock. You know, that was a theme, that Superman is a good guy, and he believes there's good in people, and first time I feel like that we don't really have a savior complex. I mean, he basically says, I'm flawed, I screw up, I make mistakes, and
well, and
I don't know, it felt
Snyder went so hard with the messianic imagery in Man of Steel. Like
standing like above the earth, looking down on it with his arms out, like Jesus. Goodness gracious!
Like there was definitely no savior complex. I don't think I'd put that thought there, but that was definitely a factor.
I think Singer did the same thing with Superman Returns. I remember that was even the Jor-El's speech was very much heavily that way, evoking Christological imagery. I remember Christianity Today had like 5 articles that pointed to that and was like, this is the superhero you need to go watch because it looked that way. And but no, I think it's great points. I think the tension and release, I love movies that have tension and release. Man of Steel, it was a whole lot of tension, not a whole lot of release.
This is a DC movie I left without needing antidepressants afterwards. I mean, I literally was like, I feel pretty good. And I mean, it's funny because we were sitting there watching this movie and I thought, yep, my dog Ginger would do that. 100%. That's, I mean, so you all relating to Superman is hard to do because Superman needs Superman, right?
Right.
But now he's like, this is a kid with a dog jumping on his bed. And you're like, I can totally relate to that. So they made him very relatable, which is something that has not happened in the past at all.
Yeah. I remember watching the teaser trailer and it had the scene with him walking and them throwing the stuff at the back of his head and me thinking, I like, it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. I'll go see it because it's Superman, whatever else. But when I watched the second trailer, when it had the interview between him and Lois and seeing him be very charming, I was like, I'm in. Like this is, I want to see this because he looks happy. He looks like he's enjoying himself, you know, like it was like, it was. Yes. Now,
the interview gave Jim Halpert vibes.
Yeah. Yes, it did. Yes,
very
it did.
much.
Called her,
yeah.
When he called her Cronkite, I'm like, I expected a camera pan, like,
Yeah.
Third wall, Deadpool.
No, I think that's good.
I think it's the hypno glasses. It's the hypno glasses or something. When Guy Gardner thought his glasses like hypnotized people, so they couldn't.
Well, I'm going.
That is a comic thing.
Yes,
it's a comic accurate thing.
Which is why people don't see him. And I remember seeing pictures. I remember seeing that that image of him with his glasses and the little wavy lines and all those things, like your old, Sunday morning paper ads, or whatever. But I thought that was good. So you mentioned, Todd, the dog and going, man, my dog would definitely do that. We talked about, what they're setting up for Woman of Tomorrow and kind of what's going to happen there. I thought it was funny. I'm not an animal person. I'm just not an animal person. But in video games, I always want the animal sidekick. I don't want an actual animal. I want an animal sidekick.
You've said that before.
And the reason is because the animal sidekicks do what you ask them to do. And so I'm watching this Crypto, and I'm going, I don't want that animal sidekick. I don't want that one because he doesn't do.
You do at the end.
Yes. I mean, he has his moments, but I just had to laugh because I'm going, golly, this is why I don't have a dog. Like those are my thoughts as I'm watching this. But I thought it was a brilliant move. Of even though could you have told the story without Crypto? Yes. Would people have gone and? You don't think you could have told a story of Superman? No. Tell me about it.
It would not be near this good.
Yes, it was. I thought it was an excellent move to put him in.
A good chunk of the laughs and a good chunk of the heart and a good chunk of the connecting pieces were this dog.
Yeah.
I feel like if you take the dog out of this movie, it drops by maybe 2 letter grades.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's
and
serious.
It's funny because he's basically dog sitting.
Yes.
You don't really realize that till the end. Listen, Alan Tudyk. I hope he's in every movie I mean, I know he's going to be Clayface, and that's going to be like maybe a.
He's not Clayface.
Rated R. I thought he was doing the voice of Clayface.
No. There's a dude named Tom Reese who got cast as Clayface.
Really? Okay.
He might be in Clayface as another person, but he's not doing that.
Well.
And the only thing I know him from is an episode of Doctor Who called Dot and Bubble. But no, because they showed him maybe 2 weeks ago, the dude who's going to be playing Clayface.
All right.
So,
well, Alan Tudyk as Gary, was that the name at the end?
Yes.
That they gave
Gary. Gary's a name.
Number 4.
4 is a name. So is Gary.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I enjoyed those. What was I going to say? We were talking about the dog. Oh, my kids asked me this question, and I don't know. How does a dog exist from Krypton? Like why is there a dog that looks no ideas?
Well, there is actually a comic book out right now that's telling all that. Issue 2 just came out today, and I would tell you don't read it because it's like animal abuse. So it's really like they put all this fun stuff for Crypto, and then they drop the comic book today that's absolutely terrible. So, but that's telling the story because they really haven't really dove into his background.
There's some old off the wall stuff, but there's nothing like dogmatically like
dogmatic. Nice. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But there's a comic book out right now. Issue 2 just came out that's dealing with all that. So
maybe I'll find it on Hoopla.
There's also the Super Pets movie, but I also don't consider that a resource.
Listen, I have seen that movie no less than 47 times because I have a son who thinks it is the greatest cinematic masterpiece that's ever existed.
All right.
I had to do some digging, but it is Tom Reese Harry's that is Clayface. Had to do some digging.
And I just like the fact that in the Super Pets movie, John Krasinski is Superman.
Yes.
Because in the DC animated universe, Rainn Wilson is Lex Luthor.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. That's good.
And what about Michael Rosenbaum having a cameo in this?
Yes, that was nice.
Where was he at?
He was
one of the shock trooper type dudes.
Yeah, when they land and he says, "Get back in your ship and leave." That's Lex Luthor.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Chris is in it as well, which was cool. He's a news reporter, so that was really cool.
Nice.
The one who first announces the Justice Gang's names on the TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was a good movie. I mean, it really played to the comic book fans, but you didn't have to be a comic book fan to enjoy this movie. I mean, my wife went and really liked it, except for the fact that they put a child in danger, even though it was fake. But she's a child therapist. Anytime that happens, it was like,
Yeah.
which means she can't go see Fantastic Four with me. But anyway,
I went without my kids because I tell people I wanted to enjoy it, but I would be definitely willing to go back and see it again with my kids. So
I would see it again. Easy.
Yep.
It's definitely a movie I'll watch over and over again.
Yes. Yep. And I liked how no, it wasn't this one. It was Thunderbolts that you said you bought the Steelbook for, Hector, wasn't it? Because you're like, I want them to make more of these, and it's like, yes, I understand that sentiment. Like that, I want more of this.
Oh, and how about the fact that Perry is also in Thunderbolts? So the two biggest superhero movies of the year so far, like Wendell Pierce is in both movies.
I haven't even seen Thunderbolts yet. I wanted to see it so bad.
You're gonna have a great time.
I know it.
I think it's the end of the month. It comes out on Disney Plus, so we'll see. Well,
All right, good.
I'll be ready.
It comes out on Blu-ray on Disney Plus. I don't know if it's going to hit Disney Plus this soon.
Yeah,
but
it's
is.
up now. You can watch it for like $30. I'm not doing that.
No, not for me.
Listen, I am dying to make memes from it, so I'm just like waiting
You're just
for
waiting
that
for it to
digital. Because
Nice.
there's scenes where like one of the characters is screaming pickle, and I'm like I've got VeggieTales memes to make, I've got stuff to do. I'm like, let's go.
Nice. Yeah.
But no, Thunderbolts is great for what it is.
Okay. Good deal.
Nice. One thing, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time here. I really just want to talk about the idea of the cultural issues that kind of were washed around this movie, and you know what I'm talking about? No,
I don't get it.
I didn't either.
I don't get it. I'm like, if somebody is saying this, I'm like, first of all, you haven't read a comic book in 20 years. I mean, what's the issue? I don't get it. I mean,
the issue is that the two countries at war are easily parables of Israel and Gaza, or Ukraine and Russia, and it's too close to home.
Or any countries that go to war. I mean, one invades
right.
when they don't have the biggest weapons. Like
I know
Germany and Poland. Like
also, sorry, go ahead, Todd.
Do you think that was written like that on purpose? I don't.
No,
at
no,
all.
but
People
you're
are just making
insecure
say
about what
they
you're
wanted
insecure
to
about.
say. Yeah, exactly. And I've said this about, because I'm a big math geek or whatever, and I'll be like, you can make numbers say whatever you want numbers to say. You know, like my son Nathan always says, well, 45% of all statistics are made up anyway. I'm like, yeah, he just made that one up. But anyway, so I get it. And they're like, an illegal alien is taking down a billionaire.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
the one that I think probably sunk a little close to home for some folks was the fact that our country just put up in a little pocket prison in the middle of somewhere that just happened 2 weeks ago. And even though they filmed that scene probably like a year and a half ago,
Right.
that it feels like to the unaware that it's like, oh, they just put that in there because that just happened. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
the amount
like
of
you
time
said,
they've
people.
yeah. I'm sorry, Todd, go ahead.
but
I mean-
it's people just being sensitive to like the fact that it makes them draw parallels they don't want to make.
Well, it's like, I mean, honestly, it's like what you do, Hector, in a bad way. I mean, and it's what we try to do, right? As Christians, we try to find, where is God in this, right? Where is something that we can take out and talk about with pop culture that has a spiritual theme in it? I mean, because you can do that with just about anything. And Satan can do the same thing, right? We can find something bad or something we can take and go and twist it to make it seem like what it is, even though that's not what the creator's intent was. So I don't know. I went into it going, I don't get it. I thought it was a great movie, and I think that honestly, I've already said it once, and I think you put something up on your Faith and Fandom, Hector, about the punk rock thing. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Superman just wants to be kind and help people. And they're like, well, you just can't invade countries. They were going to hurt people.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care who it is. I'm supposed to help people. Although
The fact he lost his
message-
calm even with Lois over people
Yes.
are going to die.
That's so good. That's so good. So good.
But
Oh,
just-
big giant eyeballs floating out behind them.
They got it. They
Which
got
was
it.
great.
Different scene. Yeah, that was
I also loved not loved. Let me backtrack just to the cultural thing. The same people that got upset saying this movie was too culturally insensitive or too woke or whatever else are the same people that would get upset if you post a Bible verse about taking care of immigrants and foreigners.
Yep.
And I feel like that's one of the things, because like the same people that I see get upset over that stuff were the same people that were saying, you know, Superman's woke or whatever else with that capacity.
And I don't think
it's
they
just
went and saw the movie.
Right.
a lot of them didn't.
Yeah.
And they haven't read a comic, like I said, in 20 years.
If ever. If ever.
So the last time they picked up a comic was when Superman died. That was the last book they bought.
Well, and I tell you what, one of the lines that kept going through my mind while I was reading or watching this is the line that was from Justice League or Man versus... Yeah, it was from Justice League, where Batman tells Superman the last thing you did that inspired people was die. And like looking at how stark the difference is between how encouraging and inspirational like one conversation can be versus, you know, all the rest. And I think that's one of the big things is this movie has a good balance of Superman, because one of the critiques over Brandon Routh's Superman is that Superman doesn't throw a punch the entire movie. And then you get
That's because
to the man.
he's too powerful, right?
Yeah. And then in Man of Steel, all we do is punch stuff. And then
and they're upset about that.
here we get
And
a
in
little
the
bit.
first one, he
would
breaks
never
a
hurt
dude's
people.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Listen,
know.
I'll say all the time, I want, if I want to enjoy something, I'm going to enjoy it. Like I go in and I say, this is a movie, I'm going to enjoy it. I know people that have the opposite philosophy, that don't ever want to be happy and they don't want to enjoy things and they find reasons
I do know people
why.
like that.
And I love them. I really do. And I want to be around them. But sometimes I go like, just enjoy life. It's a movie, it's a story. And you can assume that these people are trying to pull one over you. They're trying to be woke. They're trying to put these messages. You can assume that if you want. And unless you can find an interview where he says, yes, this is exactly what I'm trying to do, I'm just not going to buy into that.
Right.
I'm going to assume that he's just trying to tell a good story and I'm going to enjoy it because I don't have any proof. You don't have any proof. So let's just enjoy it and assume the good in him, the good in people, the good in the storyteller. And I think that I like my life. I enjoy doing things. And I think it's because that's kind of what I look at. Like, I'm not going to assume that the waitress did that to you on purpose, that they forgot your french fries on purpose. I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to assume it was an accident. I'm not going to assume that it was broken on purpose. I'm assuming it was an accident because it's just going to make my life happier, easier, more joyful. But
Do you watch Community,
yes,
CJ?
Yes.
When it's with the Christmas rap right before that, where Abed says, "I guess I just like liking things."
Yeah. Yes.
That is my vibe. That is what I'm here for. Like, I do not have enough time to invest in actively hating stuff. Like, I'll try and find something positive out of it, but
Yep.
you
I was
gotta
thinking,
actually decide that.
and that's one of the reasons why I like doing this.
Not me. I
show.
hate everything.
Yeah, definitely. We've spent time with you. We know that's definitely the case. But I was thinking about this.
The
Go ahead. Sorry.
biggest hater on earth.
Yes. Yeah.
Biggest hater on earth.
Yes.
It's why I like talking about things with people, especially if I don't understand them, to hear why they love those things, because it causes me to go, oh, I get that. I was talking to my dad, and I'm not the most patriotic of people. Like, I'm just not. It's not that I'm anti whatever. It's just not something that is typically like stirs anything up here, but my dad is. My dad was career military, loves this country, and so I was talking to him, and I enjoyed that conversation. It's like, oh, that's why you love it. Awesome. I want to, I want to see the good in those things, and I think it's not a rose-colored view of life. I think that we make things like God called us to make things, and there's good in that, and all good things come from Christ. Like all good things come from God who gives gifts. So like if you enjoy it and it brings happiness and it's not a sin, then like obviously that's good. Like I'm glad you enjoy that. I'm glad you like that.
And if you don't like the comic book, take it off your pull list.
This is true. This is true, and a lot.
Not good at that.
Listen. I just had to pull some off. And two, because I would go once every 4 weeks, and when you have a whole bunch and you go once a month,
it's expensive.
You
It's
realize
expensive when I go.
It's
once
expensive, and then it becomes a chore to actually read the stuff you don't want to read when it's all piled up. They're directly behind this laptop are 8 books that I've been dredging around with me. I've taken them through 5 states of adventures and not read these 8 comic books because I'm just like, I don't want it.
I know.
Well, speaking of more comics, let's say someone watched the movie and they really love Superman or they enjoyed this. We mentioned a couple earlier, All-Star Superman and Justice League International. What other things did you say? I enjoyed this movie, and I think you'll enjoy this as well.
Well, the Superman run right now is really good. Action Comics. I would tell people like to hop on Action Comics because they're doing something a little different with Action Comics. They are giving Action Comics to a creator for like 3 or 4 issues, and then it becomes a new creator. So you get an entire story really quick. You don't have to be collecting for a year to get a story. Right now, it's the one book that just came out last week. Mark Waid's writing. He loves old stuff, and it's basically about how Superman became Superboy in Smallville. It's really good. And I'm sure you could go back and find them because people aren't buying Action Comics off. So you could probably find any issue of Action Comics at a comic book shop. Hector, what were you getting ready to say?
So it's not a comic, but I would highly recommend watching My Adventures with Superman on HBO or Max.
Oh, its animation's really good.
The animation's really good, but it's basically giving and a lot of what we saw, and I got a lot of vibes from the movie that corresponded with that. And the guy who played Steve Lombard, very similar portrayals as well. But like, I think if you enjoy Superman, that's worth watching. It's a great anime in itself, and specifically going into the Supergirl storyline moving forward. The latter season of it deals with Supergirl, and one of the things, and I don't know if we're hitting this hard or anything, but like one of the big deviations from the storyline that we've seen so far is that they made Superman basically the Invincible storyline. That he was sent there not to love the planet, but to subjugate it.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, they literally made Superman Virillion
I didn't know that
or whatever.
was Bradley Cooper.
You didn't know that?
No. I could not even see that.
Did you see why James Gunn picked him? He's
because he said he needed to be able to carry on in
Yes,
Brando.
he needs someone to be able to fill Marlon Brando's footsteps. I'm going, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's a raccoon, man.
I like Bradley Cooper, but I don't know that I would use those words. Don't know that I'd use those words.
I don't think so either. Yeah, but anyway.
But the last season of the Superman anime carries that same thing, but with Supergirl being told that's what her purpose is.
Gotcha.
So it's a nice little tie-in with both.
Whatever you do, don't go watch the original Supergirl movie. It's terrible.
It's terribly wonderfully awful in a fun way.
Oh my gosh, no. Hannah and I were going to watch this and talk about it on our podcast, and we got through the first 30 minutes and we're like, no, we're not doing it.
It's not good. It's not good. I'll say it's not good. But it's one of those. So growing up, I had an aunt who recorded everything on VHS tapes when they would be on. And so I remember watching Supergirl so many times that I thought that the unicorn of the TriStar before it was part of the movie. Like I remember seeing that every single time. I was like, oh, we must be watching
that, yes.
And so when it would come on another movie, I would go, oh, we're watching Supergirl. Yeah. So that one, and it was the in Superman 4. That was another one that she had, and so I watched that thing till the wheels came off. Yes, I know. Terrible. Now
don't
I know
yuck somebody's yum. There you go. There we go. Let's not. It's fine, good, and everything.
Now
right?
I never watched Superman 3 until like I had kids, and I got the 4-pack from
Where he
Walmart.
reads the back of the cigarette. Where he reads the back of his cigarettes to find the special ingredient for the krypton or what kryptonite
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah, that's
It's-
so good, so good. So no, those are all good. I was putting.
I would also recommend Tom Taylor's Nightwing Run for the little bit of Superman interaction there.
Okay.
And also because there's some scenes with Dick Grayson and Superman that are good. But basically, anytime Superman shows up in Tom King Batman stuff, is some of the best stuff. There's like a one issue arc with Superman and Batman and Lois and Selena going on a double date. It's gold. And then even on
that's right.
one of the Wonder Woman books recently is just Superman and Wonder Woman at a mall shopping for Batman's birthday present.
Yes, I remember that.
And just fun stuff.
Yeah, right in the middle of a crazy, like that book was like right sandwiched in between something super serious. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It was
So
bananas.
funny. That was a good one.
I remember that one.
I also liked. I don't know if it's more Superboy than Superman, but if you can go back and read the Deceased books,
Deceased was great. Yeah.
I accidentally purchased it on Amazon. I haven't read it yet, so I will. I'll definitely have to read it now.
Accidentally?
Yes.
well, they're all on,
all of the
they're
Deceased
they're all on
books.
Hoopla, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the interaction with the Superman, who basically Superboy becomes Superman, but you'll figure that out why. And the way he interacts with Damian Wayne, Batman, and it's just really good, really
Nice.
good book.
Nice.
So
Very nice. So yeah, any other thoughts, Superman guys?
I loved Mr. Terrific.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
listen, man. I mean, they made those Justice Gang outfits just so when Mr. Terrific put his jacket on, it would look like his complete outfit.
It was a good look. It was a good look.
I said
mean-
this on my podcast, and I don't know that it necessarily bears repeating, but I'm going to repeat it anyway.
Repeat it. Do it.
The actor who played Mr. Terrific's line delivery reminded me of Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Yes, I can see that.
I
that.
can see that. I can see that.
Yes.
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 I'm Mr. Terrific.
I'm a dude playing a dude as another dude.
Like literally,
Exactly.
like
Which
I was
is
like,
funny
I was getting
because-
good.
Yeah, I that wasn't when I don't know about you guys, but when I read, I have voices in my
Yeah.
head
Yeah.
of who people should sound like, and I was like, at first I was like, oh, that's not how he sounded to me, but it grew on
Right.
me quick.
I think too, who he was in the first 5 minutes of seeing him and who he was the rest of the movie was very different.
Yeah.
When he.
Yeah, he was a little goofy at the beginning when he's on that little like
Yes.
flying thing. I was like, what?
I think when he decided I'm going to help, even though I'm not supposed to help, I'm going to do that. I felt like it was because I'm watching, going, this is not what I would take as Mr. Terrific, and then I was like, oh, never mind. He did. That was perfect. That was good. That was good stuff.
And even the two little scenes at the end, the very, very last one where they're looking and it's like it's not put together just right. He's like, what? What'd you want me to do? Basically.
Yeah, that and
funny.
honestly, ending the movie with that was, I think, a wonderful thing because everybody was like, saying that, I heard people saying, "Man, I wasted my time for that." I'm like, that was delightful, and I'm happy to walk away with that. But yeah, in my
Well, and
head,
that's
I
something
picture.
too. I think you
Yeah.
could tell people, listen, the post credits teasers or stingers are not world building. They're not.
Right. Just
They're
enjoyable.
just extra little fun. It's sort of like the Avengers eating
Shawarma,
shawarma.
which is one that everyone wanted to see. Then, like, I got to see this, and because also in their world building, and they never pay off. It's more frustrating than when it's just for fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think in my head, I always pictured Mr. Terrific to sound like Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that 100%.
Yep.
Like when I think the last thing I really read that focused on him was Adam Strange or Strange Adventures.
Yes, which
Excellent.
That's the
Excellent.
best.
and
I tell you,
so
that's
that
another.
yeah,
Go
it
ahead,
is.
Hector.
I was gonna say that's when I read that I heard Lance Reddick in my head, but
Yeah.
Another book, if people want to, right now, DC is doing Mr. Terrific Year 1. It's only on issue 2, and it's basically telling his origin story, and it is fantastic. Fantastic. Didn't think I would want to get it, but I had to. So it's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So last thing, and then we can talk about plugging you guys' shows and things like that. I watched Superman, and then I came home and watched the first Christopher Reeves one with my kids. Charlie's seen it before; she was real little, and I thought it was funny how we had the Marianas Trench in the original Superman, and then we had this trench. They were also rewinding, because he spins the world back, and I was like, oh, there we go. That's reminiscent of what was happening there. But so if you could, let's hear your rankings on Superman. I won't do all rankings. Let's just say your top 3 or 4 Superman, either animated, live action, TV, movie. Who do you think your top 3 or 4 would be playing the character?
Oh, people playing the
Yes.
character or the movies themselves?
I would say people playing the character. You could do movies if you want to do movies, because I would say that Christopher Reeves in 4 or 3 is definitely different than Christopher Reeves in 1 or 2.
I mean,
Oh,
go ahead, Hector.
I'm pretty confident to say this, that it would be Corn Sweat, Cavill, Tim Daly. Is Tim Daly as the animated Superman is just always what comes in my head. That's the voice I hear from like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited and everything. Yeah.
So with me, it would be completely different, just because I'm older than dirt. And the Superman movie was like the first big superhero movie to come out in theaters.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I would say Christopher Reeves, and then I would have to pick Superman 2 as my favorite Superman movie.
Yeah.
And then the new dude.
Yep.
I mean, when he looks like Superman, he looks like Superman. I mean, it's funny because I pick Christopher Reeves looks like the old school original Superman, and like Brandon Roth looks like John Byrne drew him, and like the new guy looks like the new Superman. So I would, what's the dude's name again?
David Cornsweat?
Cornsweat?
It's something like that. Hold
on. And I would say
it's Corn Sweat.
Gotcha. So I would go with the Christopher Reeves, this dude, and the guy from the TV show.
Yeah. You mean Tim Daly, or do you mean from Smallville?
Dean Cain.
You mean Dean Cain? Do you mean the new Superman and Lois?
Smallville. Smallville.
I'm willing.
Smallville.
Okay. And we haven't mentioned much, but the Lois Superman
the Lois
and
and Clark
show
is really good.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either.
Lois and Clark or Superman and Lois?
Superman and Lois.
No love for Dean
So
Cain?
I'm going to have to be. I like Dean Cain. I like it. I know a lot of people are giving him grief because he's ultra right wing or whatever, but I thought for that time period, that Superman movie rocked.
Listen, it's what we had. I watched that. I watched the Flash with the old Flash with the guy with the fro that played his dad in the Flash TV series. All those shows. Mantis, it was only after like a season or two. Watch all of that.
I watched it for Terry Hatcher, and that's
Absolutely. I think everybody did.
Yes.
Those back in the days when you could get the Marvel Masterpiece cards and they had Rogue in a swimsuit.
The picture of her with the Superman cape was like the most downloaded image.
It's the most downloaded internet, in the internet at that time.
For serious?
Yeah. The Lois image in the cape was the most downloaded image during the period of dial-up.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, dial-up. Okay.
I mean, that takes commitment.
Yeah, I'm a Christopher Reeves guy, and I liked Cavill. I like the movies. I'll watch them over and over again too.
Yeah.
I don't apologize.
He's an impressive looking Superman.
Yes.
And they did good stuff with him.
Not a bad Wolverine either.
I would say I really enjoyed Corn of Sweat, whatever it was. I really enjoyed that. I put him there. I would put Reeves. I would switch theirs. I liked Reeves, but I think I could take Reeves in a fight. Like that's the one thing. Like looking at him, like I think I might be able to take him. Is that really bad to say? I mean, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. And
in the appropriate time frame.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And then for number 3,
Sounded like Eminem over there, CJ.
shut up, man. I hate you. All right. So number 3, golly, I really did enjoy Henry Cavill. I really did. I think he was a little more wooden than I would have liked. I still, every time I think about him as Superman, the scene that comes to mind is when Flash is running past him and his eyes just kind of like turn and look at Flash, and it makes me laugh when like he was.
Oh yeah, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's about to happen.
So like, I remember that.
One.
Remember that. But I would say the Justice League cartoon has such a firm place in my heart that I have to go with animated voice there. I've watched that series over and over and over and over again, and it's just so good, so good. So that'd be my 3. You said it was Tim Daly. Awesome. Was that the voice in the animated series? Yeah. So Corner Sweat.
I never watched it.
Listen, if you've got HBO Max, it's on there. It's on there. It's some good stories.
I know.
Listen, like you.
Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, Justice League Unlimited and Justice League.
I started watching it.
It's solid, dude. And one of the things they were making references to in it, like with this movie, is that Nathan Fillion actually plays a cowboy character in Justice League Unlimited that interacts with Hawkgirl. So they were talking about it when they were filming the shows, or they're filming this movie too.
Very nice. Well, let's go ahead and talk about what you've got going on, things you can plug. Todd, why don't we start with you, man?
Let me throw one more thing,
Yeah.
Supermanish, before we go.
Yeah.
Have either of you watched Brightburn?
No, I don't think so.
No, but it's basically I know.
Wait.
Go ahead,
So,
explain
is
it,
this-
Hector.
Is this the Netflix movie with Will Smith and that's just Bright?
No. That's just Bright. So Brightburn was Gunn's last independent thing before he became a Marvel and DC staple. Brightburn is the superhero story if Clark had landed in Kansas and was evil. So it's basically the movie The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin, but with Superman powers. And James Gunn tells that same story, but brutally ugly. And so it just cracked me up when he got Superman. I'm like, dude, you made a Superman movie already. And he also made Super, which was just fun too.
Right.
But
this is another comic book that people could read that is sort of like a Brightburn. Marvel made their own version of the Justice League, right? It's called the Squadron Supreme. That's what they did, just so that the Avengers could fight the Justice League. So there's a character for each one. Well, J. Michael Straczynski back in 2002 did a mature comic book of that called Supreme Power, and it opens with the Superman baby landing, and the government gets the child, and they raise the child, and the parents are scared to death because he accidentally shoots lasers out of his eyes as a baby and kills the dog. But I mean, so that's very similar to what if Superman had landed in it all the characters that would equate to Justice League members. Anyway.
Nice.
Go ahead.
So Todd, what do you have going on? You want to plug?
I don't have much going on. My daughter and I are back to doing our podcast almost weekly.
Nice.
And I think she just dropped 5 episodes
So excited.
yesterday.
So excited. Saw them. They're downloaded.
So
ready to
outdated
go.
now. But so yes, Sis and Big Pops Culture. I will be doing one Comic Con next year. It's at the end of January in Nashville.
that's such a dogmatic statement to make for a whole year. My gosh.
I know. Just one. At the
Just
end of
be able to
January.
say, I'm doing one for the whole year. It's a pop-up
Well, it's
exclusive.
all I have scheduled and all I have time for. We have so much going on. So yeah, that's it. And off my collection. So there. Not all of it, but the big chunk of it.
Nice.
But that's what I got going on.
Which con in January?
It's Nashville Celebrity Comic Con at the end of January. It's like around the 30th or 29th or something like that.
I might need to come out there.
It's the only the second year they've done it. The first year I did it was last year. It was a disaster.
Right, and they were going to learn from it.
Con.
Yes.
And they gave me a big discount. I got lucky because one guy came and bought 10 mini mosaics.
Nice.
In one go. And I was like, oh, thank goodness I made my money back. If he hadn't, I'd been like, but, my family, I have a lot of family that lives there, so that's why I go.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
So, yeah.
So, System Big Pops Culture and Nashville Celebrity Comic Con. And you can also check out Mosaic Fan Art to see whatever you got going on there. Any new stuff that you're working on?
No, nothing. I haven't worked on art since March, so...
I was thinking about that as I was driving home. I was like, I don't remember seeing anything coming up on his Instagram lately.
I've been really quiet on the socials.
Yeah.
I've got a lot going on, so.
I got you.
Yeah.
We'll
One of these days, I've got it all. I've got a Dr. Doom down there just ready to go, but I just haven't been able to cut the glass yet. So, yeah.
I got you.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. Hector, what about you, ma'am?
Yeah.
I just put out Faith and Fandom 10. I got a copy. Cool. About Faith and Fandom X back in, I don't know, a couple months ago. And then just put out a new children's book called Hide and Seek, which is going through Psalms 139 of a little monster trying to play hide and seek with God. That's fun.
Cool.
And that'll make its con debut next week at GalaxyCon. And I've got like 9 shows.
700 cons.
Yes.
Yes, I do. It's like that. I do think I have 9 shows between now and October. Because I've got like 5 just between now and the end of August. Of just little things. Next week is the biggest show of the year. And it's Geek Church, and everything else will be kind of like a little lower down with that. Or a lower high risk. I'm also writing my first fiction novel that's not Jesus related, like intentionally yet. There's a Bible verse wedged in there currently, but like I played my first campaign of Dungeons and Dragons this year.
Nice.
And I took the characters from our campaign and some loosely based stuff from their development and how our campaign went, and I'm writing a whole novelization of that story plus more. And it's probably one of the most fun things I've written. Like, I sent one of the people from our D&D party like the first 5 chapters, and they were laughing out loud through the whole thing. So it's like, okay, be good.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well, very cool. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on and talking Superman with me. And same time in 2 weeks after Fantastic Four, right?
Hey, I'm down for it.
Hey, did you? One thing before we leave.
Yeah.
The Superman song was in a different chord than the original. I think it was in the G, so that they could bring the electric guitar in. Because if you listen, they started out the John Williams, and then they bring in the electric guitar. It's the same chord as the Top Gun song.
Nice. Listen, that's one of those songs that it just makes you happy. It makes you happy. The Superman, both the Superman and the Top Gun theme song, both of those. Yes.
The music was great.
I bought the Iggy Pop punk rock song at the end. I bought that as soon as I got out of the theater. And also, how about POD getting a shout out?
Yes.
That cracked me up.
That was funny.
Yep.
I listened to the PODs.
Oh, man. Well, appreciate you guys coming on, and I'll talk to you all again soon.
All right.
Dude.
See you, man.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Drop a comment, and I might share it on our midweek episode, or mid-episode in a week or so. If you are listening on Apple iTunes, I encourage you to give us 5 stars, leave us a review so I can also share that on the show. Would love to hear from you and hear how you're enjoying the show. And next main episode, we'll be looking at The Dark Glory War, which is a fantasy novel recommended by my bud Seth Glenn, who's host of the RPG Rundown podcast and several other things. And we're going to have a good time talking about that and setting up our next roleplay that you can be a part of. If you want to be part of a Dungeons & Dragons style game, we're going to be doing that with a different system than we had talked about for the previous one, and that'll be on the next episode, so you have to check it out. But until next time.
Peace out, Seacrest!